What is up, Scruff fam? We are back today going over the updated Mono Blue Vegito list from Theory Tree Productions. You know, we posted on the Patreon page a couple days back. We made even more edits after more testing, and man, this game is shaping up to be weird. Main reason why I wanted to post this video today was we were having a conversation in our Thicky Thick Boys chat, which is our highest Patreon tier, and talking about how Mono Blue Vegito is different. And how, you know, playing these mono blue strategies when you don't get access to a rival, trying to figure out if you're really missing something or if you're actually just either your deck building's off or you're not playing the deck correctly, because it is quite a difference between playing Vegito versus playing something like Series 9.5 Surge Q. So I wanted to go ahead and just go over this video just to talk more about that in theory and how you're going to be approaching this deck from, you know, game to game. But the biggest thing is, of course, the leader itself, very powerful. When it attacks, draw a card, and then if it's your opponent's turn, one of your unison cards will be placed in your drop area, or one of your battle cards is removed from your battle area or KO'd. You may flip this card over, draw 2 cards. You get the early awakening. And then on the backside, when this card attacks, draw a card, and then blue, activate battle. Choose one of your blue unison cards. It gets plus 10,000 and triple strike for the battle. So this is obviously meant to be the finisher for the deck itself. It's built into the leader. That's a very powerful effect. And what's cool is that this isn't once per turn. So if you have your unison card, your attack goes through, you can pump it without however much energy you have to get that plus 10k in bonus times the number of times you're able to use the effect, which is pretty absurd. And then auto once per turn. If it's your opponent's turn, one of your unison cards will be placed in your drop area, or one of your blue battle cards are removed from your battle area or KO'd. Switch it to one of your energy active to active mode and draw a card. So this here is just one of those things, this new paradigm of if I'm losing something, I'm then gaining something. So if something is KO'd, I'm untapping, I'm drawing a card. And this leads me to a point where the reason why you're playing Vegito and you're playing mono blue is because you want that safety to be able to tap out every single turn, or almost every single turn, and then use your energy to its fullest, both offensively and defensively, because you have so many on-tap effects. Between the leader's ability, between Obuni, between Dimension Magic, between Sensu Bean, between UI Goku Kamehameha, you have a lot of ways to extend your energy usage every single turn. And Richard Zapp made a comment about how negates feel almost broken in this format. The amount of times you can stop an opponent from being able to get a combo step is absurd, and that's going to be the most powerful thing in kind of dictating the pace of the game. And then being able to have cheap, reliable attackers and finishers to be able to get under and around some of the strategies that are coming up, like the Tragedy over ground decks, is just going to be very important. And overall, I think that Vegito is a highly competitive leader, probably, you know, one of the best starter decks that we've ever seen. And so I'm going to go ahead and go straight into what we've made updates-wise. So Unisons, we're playing 4 Zeno instead of playing the Gogeta Unison from the starter deck. The Gogeta Unison from the starter deck is solid, but the fact that it requires you to switch one of your other battle cards to rest mode or your leader card to rest mode to gain a counter makes it really weak. So it only coming into play with 2, and then you're having to sacrifice something to get it to 3. It's much easier, more easy to kill than Zeno is. And not only that, but Zeno's abilities are just so much better. For 2, you're going to come down, you're going to +2, you're going to ramp in energy, you can spend it. Like, as you can see, we have a lot of different 1-drops in the deck to be able to spend with that ability. Then next turn, you're going to have it, you're going to go to 4 energy on turn 3, you're going to play your Obuni, you're going to extend your turn because Obuni being able to untap on your opponent's turn, so you have that defensive energy available. But in general, Zeno just is so much better in a deck like this, and just in general, because it just has that high loyalty. And then of course, being able to always have access to SS Trunk's God Sealing technique is just a huge boon. And then the -5 on Zeno is very powerful. Being able to completely clear everything is just a way better ability than most of these cards even have so far. So I think Zeno probably is going to end up being just the card we all remember from this set. I think it's going to go in so many decks. You know, we're still yet to see what happens from the other colors, but this card is just already proving to be very powerful. And then 3 SS Gotenks, Absolute Unison. It's your finisher. You know, dual attack, it has blocker. The blocker isn't necessarily relevant because you are going to want to attack with this thing, but it has -2 to draw 2 cards, and then it has a -3 to choose any 2 of your opponent's battle cards, ignoring barrier and bottom decking them. But like I said, this card is your finisher. So let's say you have, you know, let's say your turn, you have 4 energy, you have a Zeno in play, use Zeno to ramp to 5 energy. You then play your Gotenks Unison for 4. You swing with your Gotenks Unison. Let's say the attack goes through. You bean, activate leader, give triple strike. Absolutely wild. And, you know, that's just like a basic combination, but also just the in-game potential. Once you stick a Gotenks Unison, your opponent's always having to defend against having that triple strike. And even using that ability with Zeno Unison is still pretty powerful. Just having a 19k triple striking Unison is pretty decent. But Gotenks is for sure our finisher. We're playing 1 Trunks Power Overseeing time. We were playing 2, but the amount of times you're actually resolving the card is pretty slim, or wanting to resolve the card is pretty slim. So we're just playing 1 copy for getting back that God Sealing technique, getting back an Obuni, or whatever card you need in that spot. We're playing 4 Vegeta Savior of the Future. Since you're a leader that awakens at a high life total, using your life for a benefit to you, such as getting a double strike attacker, is very impactful, especially with Unisons being so popular, and being able to just attack them immediately with a leader that's big enough to do damage, and then also just a 1-drop that can do 2 damage. You're going to want to play more copies of Saiyan Kaba-like effects in your decks. 4 SS Trunks God Sealing Technique. I know people are talking about playing less than 4 copies. There's no reason to. With the fact that you're going to have Zeno, you're going to have Gotenks, you're going to have ways to proc this card, and having this card and being able to tap out every single turn is better than anything your opponent could possibly do. So having access to the card is imperative. 4 Zeno Edge of Space. What's great about this card? Number 1, defensively, I understand you have to be at 5 or less life to use this, but once you are, you get to do a lot. It allows you to manipulate your energy incredibly well, and then also it being a 1-drop cantrip is very solid. And so even if you just early game 1-drop cantrip and then comboed away to just combo 10 is awesome. I mean, even if you're not getting that additional effect, it's still very good, and it's another 1-drop that allows us to use our extra energy from Zeno. So that's where we're playing this super combo. For Senzu Bean, it's the best card to defend against Obuni if it's in the later parts in the game and they aren't attacking your Unison. It's also a great way to extend your turn with a card like SS Gotenks Absolute Unison to get that triple strike in. Playing 2 Dimension Magics because the deck untaps so much energy, you don't need to always have a Dimension Magic to keep your turns going. 2 All Too Easy. Major reason why is it is a negate, but also has the additional text where it's in your drop area, you can activate it, which is a very strong thing to have, especially if you're worried about finishers or you're worried about hand destruction. But also it has synergy with Zeno Unison at the end of the turn. Let's say that this was the energy that you placed, it goes to your drop. Now you get that additional bonus for doing that. 2 UI Goku Kamehameha, huge combo card. You know, getting 15k, untapping energy, or drawing a card. Great way to try and close out the game. Great way to stay alive and extend your defense. 2 Roshi, Universe 7 United, 2 Uneasy Alliance Son Goku. Like I said, negates are very powerful. This deck has access to a ton of energy every single turn. And the reason why I started doing this was because I was testing an Android 17 variant of this deck. I'm talking about Android 17 from Series 9. And that deck was actually pretty good, mostly because you could Zeno super combo, pick up your Roshi negate and your energy, have your Roshi negate available, or pick up your Uneasy Alliance, have your Uneasy Alliance available, bounce your Roshi back to hand. It just allows you to extend your plays so much on defense, so having a 2-2 split feels really good right now. 4 Rabuni After Image Slash is the best battle card right now, has deflect, can't be countered, gives you an energy on your opponent's turn if you hit the top of your opponent's life deck correctly, and then of course 3 tokens to be able to attack Unisons, and just any non-blue deck that doesn't have Senzu Bean takes a ton of resources from them. 4 J. Cole, High Stakes Guardian, it's the revenge blocker. Dr. Rhoda is good. You know, the untapping energy can be relevant, but a lot of times you're just going to value the revenge more so than untapping an energy, so we're playing 4 J. Cole across the board. 2 Son Goku, Path to Infinite. This is how we're bouncing back our Obunis. You know, being able to just go Path to Infinite, bounce an Obuni back, play an Obuni, very powerful. So let's say turn 3, you Zeno ramped, you played an Obuni. You go to turn 4, you charge your 4th energy, you Zeno to go to 5 energy, you Path to Infinite to bounce your Obuni that you just swung with. You then hard cast your Obuni again. You now have 6 tokens plus your Obuni, pretty decent. So Path to Infinite, very powerful card. 4 SSB Vegeta, Heroic Warrior, probably the best card to come out of the starter deck. It's gonna have critical, as long like it has critical, and then when it dies, you get to get a Unison card back. You get to draw a card, like as well, and then combining that with all your leader's abilities, like you're just doing so much. So playing this card with Vegito leader, it's peanut butter and jelly. You should play this card. It's very powerful. And then 2 Android 16 Mechanical Prowess, just because to get a little bit more value off of Zeno. You know, when that energy goes to the drop area at the end of the turn, you can then play an Android 16 for free, and that again helps you proc your leader ability. So just more ways to just gain value out of these little effects just really takes his deck over the edge and really makes his deck even more powerful than, you know, just trying to play it out of the starter deck, you know, out of the box. So in general, hope you guys enjoyed this. The link for the deck will be down in the description below. It keeps getting updated. I'm trying to make sure that we keep doing content which keeps you in the loop about changes that we're making or things that we're doing. So I know you're going to see deck profiles, a lot of them, and I know that you're going to see different information, but I really just want to make sure we're keeping you in the loop with everything that we're doing here at 3 Sheep Productions. But anyways, thank you guys so much. Hope you have a great weekend. Enjoy your Friday tomorrow. Okay, thanks. Bye!